See ya.
Here are 5 lore details from the Arkham games. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 150k before the end of the year. Also subscribe to my second channel if you want to see funny stream highlights and things of that nature. But other than that, let's start with the first detail here. Red Hood. Jason Todd fully becomes the Red Hood after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. Although we don't get much lore about what happens after Arkham Knight with him, we do get some information on people that he has killed. Red Hood has been pretty busy in Gotham City. In his Red Hood DLC in the game, there's dialogues on the people that Red Hood has actually killed. These include Black Spider, the Black Glove Crime Organization, Clock King, Big Tony, Dr. Aesop, Sal Maroni possibly, and the saddest one of all, Killer Moth. And he also kills Black Mask too, obviously, at the end of the DLC. Check this out.
He ran Maroni out of Gotham. Now he's after Black Mask.
He took out Black Glove and Black Spider. Now he's after Black Mask.
He destroyed Big Tony. Now he wants Black Mask.
He's the one who took out Killer Moth.
He's the one who took out the Clock King. Get him before he does the same to Black Mask.
Black Mask is going to make you pay.
Isn't he the one who killed Dr. Aesop?
Hey guys, before we continue, I want to talk about today's amazing sponsor, War Thunder. What is War Thunder? I'm glad that you asked, because it is a free multiplayer action military game that's available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. War Thunder perfectly captures fierce battles through its sheer scale via tanks, helicopters, planes, ships, and it all looks stunning in its constantly improving graphics and physics. You can play the way that you want. Do you want to cover the front line in a tank? Go for it. Do you want to provide air support? Of course. And you can do all of this with a plethora of different customization options, with the game providing things like new skins, visual customization elements, and that's all just scratching the surface. And not only that, the game just dropped a brand new Task Force update, which includes long-awaited vehicles in the BM Oplot T-Tank, the BUK M3 SAM system, as well as Hornet fighters. It also includes fan-favorite maps Poland and Eastern Europe being reworked. And the graphics and physics have been improved significantly, with things like the destruction explosions being more immersive. War Thunder is just waiting for you, and you can download it right now on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, using the link in the description below. And if you've never played or have not played for 6 months, you'll receive special bonuses, which includes 100,000 Silver Lions, a special Eagle of Valor decor, and more. You can also immerse yourself in War Thunder Mobile, which is also its own epic mobile multiplayer game. It's amazing. Make sure to download that and play it for free on iOS or Android with the links in the description. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video, and let's continue. So let's just go through each of these villains. Black Spider. Black Spider is an assassin in a DC universe. He does appear in the Batman Assault on Arkham animated movie, which is a movie that does take place in the Arkham universe, but it's not deemed to be canon. To me, I think this movie is canon over Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but that's my own personal take. In that movie, Black Spider does appear, and he dies. However, there have been multiple people that take on the mantle of Black Spider, so whether you count this movie canon or not, there will be a Black Spider regardless that Red Hood seemingly kills here. Perhaps Black Spider was in Gotham City at the wrong time. Next up is the Black Glove Crime Organization. This is a criminal organization in Gotham that consists mostly of wealthy, malicious individuals, all hell-bent on usually trying to destroy Gotham and Batman. They have been a thing for a very long time in the city. In Arkham Origins, they are referenced on the sign here. This is the only reference to them prior to the Red Hood DLC. So Red Hood has been targeting these rich people and killing them, apparently. Top of that, Red Hood has also killed the Clock King. The Clock King is a villain that uses time-related gimmicks as his whole thing. Clock King is a lesser-known Batman villain. It's kind of interesting we never saw him in the Arkham games, not even a reference until this DLC, and he seems like a relatively low-life criminal for Red Hood to go after and kill, but maybe Clock King was at the wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. Red Hood also killed someone named Big Tony. I'm not 100% sure on who Big Tony is, but looking it up, it could be referencing Anthony Big Tony Delfini, who was a tenant and friend of Harley Quinn's. It could be him, but I'm not too sure. Moving on though, Red Hood has also killed Dr. Aesop. Dr. Aesop is a criminal that commits crimes based on tales and Aesop's fables. Gimmicky villain like the Clock King. Maybe Red Hood just hates people with stupid gimmicks. And he also probably killed Sal Maroni. I only say probably because the guy says that Red Hood ran him out of Gotham, so that could just mean that Sal Maroni left Gotham in fear of his life from Red Hood, but this one's up in the air, and it's up to you. But the saddest one of all is that he killed Killer Moth, the moth-based Batman villain with his cocoon gun and awesome costume. It's a shame we never saw him in the Arkham games, and maybe there's another person that becomes Killer Moth, but yes, Red Hood does apparently kill this guy too. And he also killed Black Mask at the end of the DLC, unless you believe the theory that it is a fake Black Mask. All these people that Red Hood killed, they're honestly pretty low-level criminals in the grand scheme of things. The biggest one here is probably Sal Maroni, but he's old school in the Gotham world. Black Spider might be the biggest threat, but yes. Another thing is that these villains were most likely on the loose compared to the villains we capture in Arkham Knight, so maybe Red Hood is just killing people that are still on the loose post Arkham Knight, and the people in Arkham are people he just lets be for the time being, like Two-Face and Penguin, since they're already in prison, so to speak. It's interesting, and I wish we knew more. Like, what does the Bat family think of Red Hood? Does he even work with them? We don't get those answers, but all we know as of now is that Red Hood is being the classic Red Hood we know at this point in the Arkhamverse. It makes you wonder who else he may have killed. Booster Gold. Booster Gold is a superhero in the DC universe. His name is Michael John Booster Carter, and he's a time-traveling superhero. He's usually depicted as someone that seeks out glory and showing off his knowledge of historical events with his futuristic technology. Most iterations have him stealing his tech in the 25th century and going back in time to the past to make himself rich and famous. He once went back in time to save Ronald Reagan, which is pretty funny if you ask me. Anyway, in the Arkhamverse, Booster Gold has been around for a very long time. In fact, he's even referenced all the way back in Batman Arkham Origins. In Arkham Origins, near the elevator that takes you to the Gotham Royal Hotel, you can find a sign that says Booster Gold International. This is a company set up by Booster Gold himself to help manage his finances and interests. It's a mostly tech-based company to nobody's surprise, so if Booster Gold has already been active enough to set up this company, then I would think that this would mean that he's already been showing off as Booster Gold ever since Batman Arkham Origins, and a while before that maybe. It's really interesting. That means he's been a hero for a very long time in the Arkhamverse. And it's even more interesting because in Batman Arkham Knight, there are legit straight up posters about this guy, showing off his costume and showing him off as some kind of big celebrity superhero. Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight take place so many years apart. Most of the time, Booster Gold mellows out and tries to actually be a hero with his tech, but if I had to guess in the Arkhamverse, Michael has been living the good life and seemingly enjoying his celebrity lifestyle. It's a cool juxtaposition from the regular heroes that do what they do because it's the right thing to do, and while Booster Gold does do the right thing, it seems like his original motives here are just to be a celebrity. Batman here probably doesn't care at all about this guy, but he definitely knows about him. They're really cool and subtle Easter eggs that help to flesh out this universe in a meaningful way. I'm really glad they put these Easter eggs in about Booster Gold. I would kill to know what Arkham Batman thinks about this guy though. As we all know, Gotham City is a very corrupted place, but in the Rocksteady trilogy, we play a point in the Arkham timeline where things are now run more so by Batman and the supervillains. However, in Arkham Origins, this game really delves into how the regular man was so easily influenced and etched into the corruption and evil within the city, and in turn, influencing decisions in the city. There's a lot of concrete examples hidden within the audio tapes that showcase this. For example, remember Warden Joseph, the pussy that Batman finds at the beginning of the game? Well, get this. Harleen Quinzel was going to have Julian Gregory Day, aka the Calendar Man, tried as insane, but Warden Joseph told her to redo her evaluation and deem him sane to be able to get the death penalty. He was most likely influenced by Gillian B. Loeb, his corrupt superior. Check out this audio tape.
You wanted to see me, Warden?
Yes, I need you to reevaluate Julian Day.
Oh, didn't you see? I turned in my evaluation last week.
I saw it, and I need you to do it again.
I'm not sure that...
You have to understand, Day is a manipulator, a very experienced one, and you, well, you're still in your residency.
I don't see anyone doubting that Mr. Day is insane and should be tried as such. I'm actually considering writing a paper about him.
Miss Quinzel, I'm giving you a chance here. Do you know what happens if the prosecution can try Day as a sane man?
He'll get the death penalty.
And the city will thank you for helping to remove a cold-blooded killer from its streets.
So, we're not here to help rehabilitate the sick?
This is a prison, Miss Quinzel, not a mental health clinic. If you want to see a successful end to your residency, I suggest you keep that in mind and reevaluate Julian Day.
I see. Perhaps I was a bit hasty with my evaluation.
Excellent. I'm glad we could...
In fact, I think it would be excellent experience if I was the first to give all new inmates psychological evaluations.
You're not a doctor yet. That's not your...
Like you said, I need more experience with these manipulators. Perhaps more exposure to these types of criminals will help me learn to tell the difference between the fakers and the truly insane.
Why would you want to spend any more time with these freaks than you have to?
The criminal mind is a fascinating subject for a research paper or a book.
It's no skin off my back. Knock yourself out.
Another prime example is how Commissioner Loeb is trying to convince Black Mask to have Gordon killed, in which Black Mask tells him no, but Loeb keeps insisting. Check this out.
Gordon. He's so clean. I sometimes think he does it just to lord his integrity over the rest of us.
Easy, Gillian.
I'm telling you, Roman, it's time we took Gordon off the payroll. Permanently.
That's enough, Gil. A cop like Gordon is good PR for the PD. We get him under control, and he could be even more useful to us.
Control? It will be easier to send my men to beat some sense into him.
Like Detective Flass? That approach has already failed. Find a way to put a collar on the man, and it'll be that much easier to tighten the leash.
And how do I do that?
Not my problem, Gillian. That's what I pay you for. Gordon is a man of principles. Work on those.
In his next audio tape, he's trying to find dirt on Gordon and other means of ruining him. As we all know, he dies in the beginning of the game. Sucks to be him. The idea of corruption is just sprinkled throughout this particular game heavy. Other than those two examples, Anarchy, the villain, is all about Gotham's corruption and how it's a plague and it's literally everywhere. It makes more sense as to why Batman says how the GCPD is corrupt when he's infiltrating it, and all these corrupt officials in the game are being highlighted and being kind of taken off the board throughout the game. Like, Loeb dies, Warren Joseph becomes a joke. It shows that the age of supervillains is nearing. It's a really cool detail in Arkham Origins that it focuses on that element and shows the people that adapt and the people that don't. Joe Chill, the man who killed Bruce Wayne's parents, has gotten a ton of new information in Batman Arkham Shadow. Though usually in Batman media, Joe Chill is the person who kills Bruce Wayne's parents. However, in the Arkham games, there's a bit of a twist on the whole situation. In Batman Arkham Shadow, it's revealed that this guy here is in fact Joe Chill, the man that's in charge of the Blackgate Commissary and helps you throughout the game. After Joe Chill killed the Waynes, he felt deep regret for what he did and feared that the boy he spared in that alley, Bruce Wayne, would one day take revenge. So Joe robbed a convenience store and got sent to Blackgate. Keep in mind, nobody knew Joe Chill was the man who killed the Waynes. Nobody knew except for maybe Bruce, as he saw the man as a child. You can see that he attends group therapy sessions with Harleen Quinzel in the game, and here you can see that he realizes that when Bruce, disguised as Matthew Malone, talks about his backstory of his dead parents, Joe seems like he probably knows who this person is now, and he gets really nervous about it. He feels immense guilt for what he did. You can tell in his interview tape between him and Harleen.
You wanted to see me, Dr. Quinzel?
Joe, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for acting like I had a choice. This being prison and whatnot.
Right. I just wanted to say, you've been doing really great in our group therapy sessions. Your openness and willingness to share has been an inspiration to many of the other prisoners. And I'm glad you seem to be getting so much out of it.
Thanks. But you make it easy. I've been inside a long time, and not everyone who runs these sessions seems to care like you do.
I appreciate that. I've always believed that there's good to be found in everyone, if you dig deep enough.
Sure. But you probably need an excavator to reach some of these guys.
Which is exactly why I asked you to come by. I'd like to get into some shadow work. Starting next session. Really dig deep into the parts of ourselves we usually repress. Jung tells us that many kinds of cognitive distortions are caused by repressing past trauma. A concept I think might really benefit the group.
I'm not sure what talking about Killer Croc's mommy issues is gonna solve. But you're the doctor.
Humor is a classic deflection tactic, Joe. For as open as you've been, I know you're still holding back. I don't mean to pressure you or make you uncomfortable, but this type of therapy only works if you're willing to be vulnerable.
Listen, Doc, it's nothing personal. They're just parts of my past I don't like to talk about. Going over all that won't change what I did, or how I feel about it. I'm not like a lot of these guys. I know I'm exactly where I ought to be.
Whatever's causing you pain, I want to help. And I think you could help the others to see it too.
Appreciate it, Doc. But the others, they need your help a whole lot more than I do.
Nobody knew what he did until Jonathan Crane stepped into the picture. Check out this audio tape between them.
No cream, no sugar, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Crane. But you didn't bring me in here for coffee.
Astute, as always. Dr. Quinzel said you're responding remarkably well to her half-baked notion of shadow therapy. However, she did note your reticence when it comes to sharing certain aspects of your past.
Yeah, sure. There's some stuff I figure is nobody's business but mine. And she's always been respectful of boundaries.
Is that what you really think?
What do you mean?
Just wondering how you'd respond to treatment from a doctor who actually knows what they're doing. Case in point, I've been developing a new treatment that can bring the shadow to the surface. It dredges up the darkest, hidden parts of the self so they can be faced. Aggressive, but effective.
I appreciate the offer, but I'll pass. Doesn't sound like my kind of thing.
I thought you might take some convincing. That's why I put some in your coffee.
What? Are you... Oh, God.
Now, tell me, Joe, what are you so afraid of?
No. Don't want it. You can't make me talk about stuff I did. 20 years is a long time.
What did you do, Joe?
Just needed money. Didn't mean to hurt anybody. But you get desperate. So, when I saw those two Richies leaving the theater, and the lady's necklace, you could tell it was worth something. And then I recognized them from the papers, from TV. Not normal people. Billionaires. Wrath of God, wealthy. And they both got a good look at me. He should have let me take the necklace, but it broke. Pearls on the pavement. And I shot him. Her too. Because how could she forget my face?
The Waynes? You murdered the Waynes?
Right after, I noticed the kid there. God. He looked at me like I'll never forget. And I just didn't have it in me. I ran. Left them there in that alley. Didn't get the necklace. Didn't even get their wallets. Only thing I stole was some rich kid's parents.
You were never caught.
Got picked up for knocking over a gas station. Nobody else ever knew I was the guy that did it. Just the kid. But those eyes. In my dreams every night. Burning with wrath. I took the life sentence. Save her on the inside. He can never know it was me. Nobody can. You have no idea what someone that rich is capable of. And I do. I've had 2 decades to think. I can't. I can't tell anybody.
Jonathan Crane coerced Joe into telling him about his past, which, because of so, Harvey Dent found out, and we see that Bruce finally meets with his killer at the end of the game. Joe Children's universe was desperate. He needed money. Didn't want to hurt anybody, but that's what happened. felt deep regret for what he did and put himself in prison for life because of it, which ironically is a reason he got caught as the killer of the Waynes. A really interesting way of doing a story to me, since it doesn't mess up the lore, but I think it enhances it in an interesting way. It would be cool to see Joe Chill in the future Arkham game getting some kind of closure with Bruce Wayne. Who knows if we'll ever get one though. In Batman Arkham Knight, some of the villains have different unique dialogues if you complete them after beating the main story when everyone knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. These include Penguin, Two-Face, and also Lucius Fox, but he's not a villain. And all of them bring a unique take on the relationship that we can go in depth with. Let's start with the Hush mission. If you beat this one after beating the main story of Arkham Knight, this is the new dialogue.
I take it you didn't see the news.
Not recently. No, sir.
It's over, Lucius. The world knows who I am.
I don't know what to say, Mr. Wayne. What does this mean for Batman?
After tonight, there will be no more Batman.
I'm sure you know what you're doing, sir. I know you'd never abandon Gotham. If there's anything you need me to do, anything at all.
Thanks, Lucius. Alfred, I've detained Elliot at Wayne Tower. I'll have him brought to trial when this is over.
Oh, thank God. And what of Mr. Fox?
He's fine.
Oh, that is good news. We'll ensure Mr. Elliot sees justice for his crimes when this is over.
So this one is not with Hush speaking, but more so with Batman and Lucius. So just for reference, I don't know if these side missions happened before or after the main story, but I don't think this particular side mission is canon post Arkham Knight, because it wouldn't make sense as why Hush still goes along with his mission if he knows Bruce is Batman at this point. But I think the side mission happens before being the main story. But moving on, the dialogue here between Batman and Lucius is pretty normal, but Batman states that he'll take Hush to trial once this is all over. So if you were wondering what happened to Hush after Arkham Knight, this gives you a little bit of clue as to what may have happened to him. Moving on, we have the Penguin. Now, Penguin and Batman have a pretty interesting conversation. Check this one out.
My head. Where am I?
Yes.
No! No! These guns, they were mine!
You could sell them for scrap. If you ever get out.
No, you smug bastard. I might have known it was a Wayne under that mask. What's the matter? Bankrupting my family's business wasn't enough. You had to go and kick 10 tons of crap out of people too.
Your family was corrupt, Cobblepot.
Yeah? And yours are dead! Oh, what's the matter? Touch the nerve. This Cape Crusader lark doesn't really work when everyone knows who you are, does it?
Worked fine catching you.
Face it, after tonight, Batman's dead in the water. You better find a new costume, old boy. What'll it be next? Oh, I know. How about a squirrel?
You'll see.
Now, I always find this dialogue here amusing. It shows a lot about how Batman just really doesn't care about Penguin or find him a threat in any way possible. Batman treats Penguin the same with or without his identity revealed. Their conversation here reveals an almost amusing side of Bruce. It's like he doesn't need to be scary anymore since Penguin knows who he is. And it's almost like Bruce is just poking fun at Penguin and humoring him, showing how much Batman doesn't really think his enemies are threats. He does reveal to Penguin that he does have a plan for the situation too, which is really interesting. And with the conversation, it almost reveals a twisted sense of respect that these villains do have. Penguin in this conversation not once threatens Batman. In fact, he asks Batman what his next costume will be, which kind of shows to me that Penguin expects Bruce to find a way and still be a vigilante. It's a really interesting dynamic between Batman and Bruce, especially since Bruce's family lineage has some connection to Penguin's family lineage. And finally, there's Two-Face. Two-Face has post-game dialogue as well, and it's one of my favorites of all time. I've talked about it before, but this does apply to his detail, so I'm not going to gloss over it. And it's also my favorite dialogue in the entire series. Check out what Two-Face says after beating the main story.
Oh, crap! It's me!
Damn you.
So is it true, Bruce?
Don't answer them. We know the truth.
You aren't Bruce Wayne. Jim Gordon and I, we didn't strike a deal with Bruce Wayne.
And it's sure as hell not Bruce Wayne waiting on the rooftops each night.
This is who you are. See? We get it, Bruce. It's not the face you're given.
It's the face you choose.
A really interesting exchange. It's a classic case of the trope that Bruce Wayne's the mask and Batman's the real person. The real interesting thing is that you can tell when Harvey is speaking for Two-Face. Harvey almost sounds sad and speaks to Bruce as a friend, while Harvey sounds villainous, but also speaks facts about how he knows that Bruce is the mask and Batman's true self. Out of any villain, it's fitting that Harvey understands that compared to other villains, and this is one of my favorite dialogues of all time. Batman not saying anything also says a lot. He likely understands how Harvey of all people would figure everything out without Batman needing to say a word. It's a shame, these are the only 3 with different dialogue after being the main story in their own respective side missions, but it is interesting and sheds more character on these characters. It was really well done. And with that, those are 5 lore details in the Arkham games. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want more like this, but as always, leave a like, sub, comment, subscribe to my second channel, subscribe to this channel, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.